The Texas, what has come to be known as the Texas versus California redistricting battle, is now heating up more and more. Yesterday, Governor Gavin Newsom of California actually held a rally and a press conference in Los Angeles, and officially that was kind of kicking off his state's redistricting push. While at the same time he was doing that, more than a dozen Border Patrol agents turned up outside the venue where he was speaking. And then all of this simultaneously is taking place while runaway Texas Democrats lawmakers are signaling, at least, their intention to return to Austin, Texas, and to put an end to their redistricting standoff. So we don't know when they plan to return, but they are signaling that they want to. So are there any strings attached to these Democrats returning to Texas? And will California's threat to also redistrict play a factor in all of this? Well, joining me now to discuss the latest in this mess is FRC Action's Director, Matt Carpenter. Matt, welcome back to Washington Watch. Always an honor to have you.
Thanks for having me, Jody. Great to be with you.
All right, so break it down for us. What's the latest in this saga, if you will, between these runaway Democrats?
Yeah, so what started in Texas has sort of metastasized across the country. As you pointed out, California Governor Gavin Newsom has weighed in, threatening to draw their state's districts in response to what Governor Abbott and the Texas legislature might do in a special session. Texas Democrats fled the state in order to deny the legislature a quorum to convene a special session, which has been underway. The Texas Senate passed their redistricting maps, but the Texas House has been unable to move those maps because they've not had the requisite number of state legislators present. So all eyes have been on these Texas Democrats who fled the state. There was a report yesterday that this group of legislators, these Texas Democrats, have outlined some conditions upon which they might return to the state, and those being one, that the current special session adjourn. It just so happens that the special session did adjourn today. And the other condition is that California announced their plans for redistricting. And you played that clip earlier, Gavin Newsom. He's itching up. They're gearing up to go tit for tat here with Texas.
So when are these Democrats expected back? I've seen that they're signaling that they're going to come back, but do we know when? And you said the special session ended today. Is there another one to follow right now?
Yeah, so the Texas Democrats who've fled the state, there are some reports out there that they might return this weekend. I haven't seen any updates since then, so I assume they'll be headed back to the Lone Star State in short order. But Governor Abbott has been very clear from the onset here that he's going to just call special session after special session until they get new maps. So in essence, this is maybe a publicity stunt at most. If you'll remember back in 2021, they pulled a similar stunt. They came to D.C. In protest of Governor Abbott calling a special session to take up legislation to enhance the state's election integrity laws.
Wow. So, all right, let's the scenario. They come back this weekend. Another special session is called by the governor. Are the Democrats going to break quorum again?
Well, if history is any indicator, there's a strong chance they might try and pull that stunt again. They certainly seem to like the publicity to getting out of state and getting their names in the paper and raising dollars for this activity. But, we've seen the Attorney General Ken Paxton, we've seen Governor Abbott, we've seen the Texas Speaker of the House also start posturing towards taking some measures, which is going to raise the consequences on these legislators if they try to play this tactic again. There's talk of arresting them, of vacating their seats. So the stakes are certainly getting raised there. I imagine that changes the calculus, and eventually they'll just cave and they'll just end up trying to make their point, as they should, as elected representatives in the state house, even if it's a losing fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're elected to do. So let's come back. Let's say all goes well in terms of the way Texas Republicans are hoping. How many seats are at stake here? What could be the switch from Democrat control to Republican control in Texas?
Sure. So the maps that have been circulating in Texas show a 5-seat pickup essentially for Republicans. If you look at the map, there typically are going to be states in the Rio Grande Valley. In past election cycles, we've just seen a tremendous swing among the Hispanic majority communities in the Rio Grande Valley towards the GOP. And so I think for Texas Republicans to look at this and say, well, it seems fitting that we would draw new districts to represent this, this change essentially in the voting behavior of our citizens. I think that's well founded. You've got 36 members of the Texas delegation currently, 23 are Republican, 13 are Democrat. After redistricting, you would end up with 28 Republicans and 8 Democrats.
Wow. And of course, we have all sorts of blue states now that are trying to counter all that. We've got less than a minute, Matt, but are we ever going to have fair representation again? This seems to be getting out of hand.
Jody, redistricting it's just an inherently partisan process. After the 2020 census, we saw just in general, most districts were drawn to favor incumbents. Lean Republican seats became likely Republican seats. Likely Republican seats became safe Republican seats, and vice versa on the Democratic side. There's just a dwindling number of actually truly competitive races out there.
Thank you so much, Matt Carpenter, FRC Action's Director, for your updates. Appreciate it a great deal.